Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today's topic is going to be progress is proof, and another bunch of proofs. Proof that it's TMS, mind body. So, let's take a couple of nice breaths first. I apologize for shooting indoors. My days get away from me when I'm coaching for much of the day. By the time I turn around, it's dark these days. Daylight savings time. So, breathe in the peace, exhale the noise. Fortunately, it's nice and quiet in here. Breathe in the clarity and the certainty. Exhale the doubt. Breathe in the belief. Exhale the fear. So, progress is proof. What the heck do I mean by that? Let's say you've started to do some of this TMS work. You've been teaching your brain that you're okay, learning to be a little bit more indifferent. You start to do a little bit better. But then, as this up and down journey sometimes goes, the symptoms will come back, sometimes significantly. And all of a sudden, we throw out this belief that it's TMS, and we go, well, oh my God, I can't believe the pain's back. Maybe it's not really TMS. Yes, it is. The fact that you made progress simply by thinking and feeling differently about your pain and how you relate to the pain or the symptoms, the fact that you made progress is proof that the symptoms are created by the mind and the brain. That's proof, absolutely proof. So don't let the return of symptoms or pain or the increase in symptoms or pains cause you to throw out TMS entirely and decide, oh no, the pain's back, it must not be TMS after all. It's not based in any evidence or fact. It's just a fear-based response that when you really are hurting, we're not thinking rationally. So I will encourage you to start to create an evidence log of sorts. Anything that happens in your experience with these symptoms or pains that you go, you know what? The only thing that makes sense is TMS, mind-body pain, perceived danger pain. Because structural pain wouldn't behave like this. Injuries heal. So any pain that lasts longer than 6 to 8 weeks is generally become learned and created by the brain based on perceived danger. The amount of fear and attention we give to symptoms can absolutely keep it persistent. So any type of pain that turns on and off, that's proof that it's TMS. You might say, no, my pain's constant. And, I've heard a lot of people say my pain's constant. Well, how do you define constant? Do you mean it's always in the same place? Do you mean it always comes up at 10 a.m. and lasts until you go to bed? But the first hour or two that you're awake, you're reasonably okay? Right? That's not constant. That turns on and off. Therefore, proof that it's mind-body. One other thing that's interesting is the more symptoms you have, the more likely it is created by the brain. Perceived dangers, a heightened hypervigilant nervous system. Why? Because it's very unlikely for you or any of us to have 1, 2, 5, 6, 12, 15 different things broken in our body at once. Injuries and structural problems don't happen like that, but a hypervigilant nervous system can perceive danger everywhere and create lots of symptoms. So are the symptoms inconsistently present, meaning they're on a schedule? Talked to somebody this morning that said she's okay until 10 o'clock. And then the pain comes on. And when the pain comes on, it's very mild. But then the more she freaks out and gets scared about it, the worse it gets. It's created by the brain. Perceived danger. Right? Does it occur in a large part of the body? Because typically structural injuries or defects are very more pinpoint. Right? But if you've got a broad sense of pain in a broad part of your body, it's more proof, right? Are the symptoms triggered by innocuous stimuli, right? Things like time of day, certain movements, light, sound, smell, foods, weather, anticipation, light touch. These are learned associations. These are learned triggers. It's just more proof that the perceived danger in the brain is what's causing this, because some of these things, time of day, sound, smell, weather, foods, anticipation of pain, light touch. Why would any of these things impact a structural problem if it was one? It doesn't. How about a shift in location, if even just slightly? I talked to somebody with pelvic pain. They said, well, sometimes it's a little bit more in this location, but then sometimes it's others, or it moves here or there. That's proof that it's created by the brain. Structural problems don't move like that. And in some cases, it might be like my left knee hurt for 6 months, and then once I got convinced that my left knee wasn't the problem, 2 weeks later, my right knee started to hurt. Proof. TMS, mind body, right? Perceived danger pain. Varying intensity or quality, like what does it feel like? Does it feel burning one time and more of like just a painful throb another time? Intensity. Sometimes it can be super intense, like take your breath away intense. Other times pretty mild. More proof. It's the brain, right? These are some of the things. Here's more proof. Doctor can't find a cause. Look, doctors are really good at finding things that are wrong with us. If they look at you and say, you know what, everything looks fine, I don't see a reason why you should be hurting this bad. It's more proof, right? Emotions cause pain. So if you get upset, if you get angry with your spouse or your kids or your coworker or your boss, and your pain flares, it's more proof. It's TMS, perceived danger pain. If the stress level in your life elevates and your pain goes with it, most likely it's this perceived danger pain or TMS. So these are a number of different proofs, but I just wanted to point out that for those people who feel like, I was making some progress and now I went all the way back to the beginning. No, you didn't. Don't forget the progress you made. Don't forget that progress is proof. And, those were just a number of other types of proofs that you can have. Anytime you notice something that kind of confirms for you that your brain is creating the pain, write it down. Create an evidence list. Things that prove that it's mind-body. And I think what you'll find is that the more evidence you have and your willingness, if the pain spikes up for a reason, your willingness to go get that evidence list and read it and kind of reassure yourself, okay, I've got lots of evidence. It's not a structural physical problem. And do not forget, the body heals. The body heals. There's no reason why we should be hurting for years from a structural problem. Oh, what about a herniated disc that's pressing down a nerve? I even think that would heal. Right? There's no reason we should hurt long term. Pain is, in my opinion, always based on the brain's perception of danger. So if you perceive that your herniated disc is pressing against a nerve, you've been convinced of that for years, no wonder you've hurt for years. Your brain's job is to keep you safe and alive. And if the brain perceives that you've got a structural problem with your disc that's pressing on a nerve, it's going to do whatever it takes to keep you from moving in a certain way, because you might pinch that nerve more and create more pain. It's all perceived danger. I'm very, very convinced of that. I hope you are too. We're becoming convinced of that. So look for proof wherever you go. Whatever happens, look for proof. And progress is proof. So, love you guys and gals. Hopefully you found this helpful, and we'll see you later.